Steps, welcome back to Heartbook Radio, where we dissect literature like a frog in high school biology, except with more moaning and hopefully less formaldehyde.
And fewer awkward teenage boners, unless the book calls for it. Speaking of which, today we're diving headfirst into Becky Wade's Uneasy Street, the grand finale of the Sons of Scandal trilogy. And let me tell you, this street is anything but uneasy, if you know what I mean.
Teps, oh, I get it. Because of the forced proximity and the unbreakable lease, it's like literary BDSM, but with more main accents and fewer safe words.
Exactly. We've got this character, the illegitimate son turned CEO, who's basically a walking, talking red flag factory. He's got more baggage than an airport carousel, and he's decided the best way to deal with his past trauma is to trick his ex-friend into living next door to him.
Classic CEO move. I'm emotionally stunted, therefore, you must be my neighbor. It's like a romantic comedy written by Machiavelli.
And the other character, bless her heart, she's an etiquette expert, which, in this scenario, is like bringing a knife to a gunfight, or a rule book to an orgy.
Steps, excuse me, but is thrusting considered good form? I can just picture it. She's probably got a whole chapter on the proper way to moan. Is moaning good etiquette? He asked. The best etiquette is about being considerate of everyone, so I declined to scold you for moaning.
Oh, does she actually say that? This book is gold. Pure, unadulterated, slightly Christian, but we'll ignore that for now gold.
It's light on the faith, heavy on the sexual tension, which, let's be honest, is the kind of religion I can get behind.
Amen to that. So we've got these two forced together by a contract that's tighter than, well, you know, and they hate each other at first.
Steps, because of course they do. It's enemies to lovers, the bread and butter of every romance novel ever written, except this time, the enemies part involves a lot of passive-aggressive landscaping and probably some very pointed remarks about the proper way to trim hedges.
And rats, don't forget the rats.
Steps, oh God, the rats. One character's niece has pet rats named Kevin and Ricky, because of course she does. This girl is a walking, talking Generation Z stereotype, complete with an adoption backstory and a quest to find her birth father.
Which, honestly, is a surprisingly heartwarming subplot. It's like the author threw in a dash of genuine emotion to make us feel something other than, well, you know. I was going to say existential dread, but yeah, that works too.
So, while the niece is off searching for her daddy, the two main characters are busy, not searching for a daddy. They're busy fighting, flirting, and probably engaging in some very uneasy conversations about their feelings.
And there's a missing tiara. Because why not? Every good romance needs a subplot about stolen jewelry. It's like the cherry on top of the dysfunctional sundae.
The steps. So to recap, we've got forced proximity, enemies to lovers, a manipulative CEO, an uptight etiquette expert, pet rats, a missing tiara, and a whole lot of unresolved sexual tension. It's basically a recipe for disaster or a really good time, depending on your perspective.
And the reviews are mixed. Some people loved the slow burn. Others found it slower than a snail in molasses. Some people adored the CEO. Others wanted to lock him in his own guest house and throw away the key.
Steps and the rats. Divisive, very, very divisive. One reviewer said, and I quote, "The rats. Just the rats. That's it. That's the review."
I love it. It's like the literary equivalent of a shrug.
But here's the thing, even the negative reviews admit that Becky Wade can write. She's got a knack for creating complex characters and exploring deep emotions, and the banter. Chef's kiss.
What you do in private is none of my business. It could be your business if you're the one in private with me.
Oh, damn, the CEO is smooth, and toxic, my favorite combination.
So, if you're looking for a book that's going to make you laugh, cry, and maybe question your own life choices, Uneasy Street is your jam. It's messy, it's complicated, and it's got enough sexual tension to power a small city.
Just be prepared for the rats, and the etiquette lessons, and the overwhelming urge to slap the CEO upside the head.
But in a loving way, of course.
Of course, because we all love a bad boy who's secretly good, or at least good at pretending to be good.
So, go forth, dear listeners, embrace the uneasiness, read the book, and let us know what you think. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did the rats give you nightmares?
And most importantly, did you find yourself unexpectedly attracted to a fictional CEO with a penchant for manipulation? Because, let's be honest, we've all been there.
That's all the time we have for today, folks. Join us next week when we dissect another emotionally fraught romance novel. Because that's what we do. We suffer for your entertainment here at Heartbook Radio.
Scan for the free books. Don't forget the free books here at Heartbook Radio.